What's going on, everyone? Gilman with Live Wealthy Stocks back with our weekly Apple update video where we take a look at how Apple stock traded this past week, some key support and resistance levels that we have coming up, and based on that, what we think the stock can do going into this upcoming week. So real quick, if you enjoy videos like this, hit that like button down below, subscribe to my channel. I try to do videos like this on a daily and weekly basis, and comment down below what your thoughts on Apple are, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. So let me hit record and we will get right into the analysis. So as we know, if you've watched some of my videos, this was a great week for Apple. For the longest time, I was talking about three ranges that we were looking at: 117, 119, 120, 150. Well, this week, at the beginning of the week, as we see here, what we got was a start kind of in the high 122s, 123s, a little bit of a fade, but sure enough, come Tuesday, right, in the pre-market, we pushed up from the 121s, opened near the 124s, and then pushed up and ended the day kind of in the 128s. Then at that point we established kind of what the levels we were looking at, one of which was this 126.60s level that we thought was going to act as good support because of kind of the bounce there. It did, and then we saw that bounce, moved up a little bit, and then come Thursday we saw kind of a sideways day. The major thing for that day was we made a new high of 129.57, which puts us really close at the all-time high in that 130s that was set earlier this year. But other than that, it was it was either a flat day or a slightly red day, can't recall. But Friday was sort of the main day. It was a sell-off as we sort of expected. We were talking about it, right? The fact that it was quad witching, the fact that Apple had gone up from the 121s to the 120 kind of 8s, 9s, in 4 days, or rather in 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Sell-off and profit taking was normal, and also, there usually is a little bit of a sell-off or price fluctuations on Fridays if there are also options expirations week, as we knew of this past Friday. So now let's take a look at, that was our recap. Now let's take a look at kind of what we are anticipating moving forward. Let me go to the hourly chart and we can kind of see this. So as you can see, right, this 121 level that we had as support, pushing up. Now we are, and I mentioned that what's really important for Apple right now to do is establish another base, right? So for the longest time, this 119, 121s, as you could see, and every time we would go up and we would come down, we would bounce off of this 121 level, right, multiple times for, I think this is like 2 or 3 weeks worth of market right here. And I want to see Apple kind of do something similar, and so we are still looking for that level. Right now I've got this 126.67 that I think is the immediate level of support. The fact that we closed right at that is a little bit concerning to me, but we were up 60 cents after hours, so it depends on kind of how pre-market goes. If we start to push up or if we see a little bit of a decline, that's sort of the only thing that worries me about that support level. If we break that support level, let me bring in my indicators as well, and we could take a look at that on the daily chart. If we break that level, we've got the AEMA coming in right at 125.65, and I would like to see that support level be in the kind of 125s, which really nicely aligns with our AEMA as well, just because 125 I think is also going to be a mental support level for the Apple stock. So those are kind of the initial support levels I'm looking for. If we see a red day in the 126, this kind of line right here, hopefully we push up and find support there. If not, let's see if we find support at the 8 EMA in the 125.65 level. And then if we keep, dropping from that point on, we've got the 21 EMA at 122.79, 34 at 121.07, which kind of aligns with, our 121.50 line as well. That's if we see like a massive $6 drop. Hopefully we don't, but you never know. This week we got great news on the iPhone sales numbers being increased, but at the same time, like you can see here, right, there are kind of states and cities especially that are really going through a rough COVID spread, and so Apple shuts down all stores in California. Don't necessarily think that that's super bad news, because you could still order them online, get it in time for Christmas, all that good stuff, but just something to keep in mind. We could potentially see something COVID related as well. We have vaccines now, so hopefully you know, nothing too crazy. But those are kind of my support levels from a what we want to go at, right? So we made a lower high, lower low. So the low of today, the low of Friday also should act as support in the 126 in the low 126s. But the high of Friday, which was 129.10, is sort of that first level that I want to see Apple stock push for, right? On the upside, and then 129.58 from the day before. And at that point, the only thing that Apple will have after that 129.58 level, other than kind of that mental 130 resistance, is if we go all the way back to September and we see this 137.98, which was a crazy day in and of itself because we dropped from kind of 137.98 to 127. So that was a huge drop. The end of that crazy run that Apple and other tech stocks had, right? But that would sort of be the next level to look for. So first level, that 129s, mid 129s, 130 resistance, and then hopefully as we go into 2021 and as we see kind of approaching that earnings period for Apple, being that, you know, this was a quarter where they had both the iPhone 12 initial launch sales as well as their, you know, your holiday and Christmas based sales. So hopefully monster quarter for Apple, and we see that push towards the 130s as we go. But that would be kind of the two levels that I'm watching for Apple to push. If we can capture 129s, if we can hit 130s, boom, sets us up really nicely for a run into earnings of the kind of high, mid to high 130s going into 2021. So from a moving average perspective, right, we don't have too much. The 20 moving average, actually let's do the 4-hour chart, maybe we can get it better. Yeah, so I guess that would be a level to reach for as well, the 20 moving average, 125.53. Not too far from it, but just something to keep in mind. And then we've got the 50 moving average coming in at 124. So just to kind of wrap it up, right, I'm watching this 126.60s because it held up as support a couple times to see if it holds up as support, if we can stay above it. If not, we've got the AEMA kind of in the mid 125s and the 125 mental resistance. And then, I mean, if we drop, I pointed out some other levels as well. Pushing up, I want to see it break the high on Friday, the 129s, and then mid 129s of the day before to set us up for 130s. I mean, I think so far everything we've heard about iPhones, sales have been great, right? It's their first 5G iPhone, so I think hopefully sales are great as well. Hopefully, you know, holiday season comes through for Apple, and we see a run into kind of next quarter in 2021, Q1 2021. So hope you guys find this video helpful. I do daily Apple update videos, excuse me, as well. If you want to stay up to date with Apple stock, if you're an investor in Apple stock, let me know down in the comment section what you guys think if you trade Apple, and I'd love to chat with you guys down there. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's remember to be a bit better every single day. And until next time.